When a single company claims it can stand up to China's tungsten empire, the world watches and investors hold their breath. Welcome to the Market Frontlines. I'm Lindsay Melchuk. Today, I'm sitting with Matthias Greifenberger, senior analyst at GVC AG, one of the sharpest voices in European equity research and someone who's been tracking Almonty's every move from strategy to survival. Matthias, we have had many conversations, actually, and we moderate the IAF together as well. So I know that when we chat analyst reports, the real story is about to come out. So first of all, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Lizzie. Yeah, it's great to be back.
So, Matthias, right out of the gate, let's not sugarcoat this. Almonty has been positioned as the West's great tungsten hope. From your seat, though, does the company have the operational muscle and the financial discipline to actually shift the global balance, or is this still a geopolitical headline without industrial teeth?
Well, regarding geopolitics, we first need to have a look at the price development of tungsten. And tungsten prices have climbed sharply over the past year, reaching multi-year highs. And this rally reflects tight global supply, the Chinese export restrictions, and the rising Western demand for secure non-Chinese critical material sources. So also the demand from defense, aerospace, and semiconductors continue to accelerate this trend. So furthermore, Almonty already operates tungsten mines in Portugal and Spain, proving it's not just a story stock, and the Sangdong Mine in South Korea, one of the largest tungsten deposits, is nearly operational. So with construction completed, equipment installed, and financing fully secured, Sangdong positions Almonty to reshape global tungsten supply outside of China.
Okay, so if we zone in on one of those projects that you just spoke about, that's at the forefront of the headlines, the Sangdong project. Now, this has been called a once-in-a-generation asset, yet timelines have stretched and costs keep creeping. So what's your real assessment of the execution risk here? I mean, how much longer can investors buy the almost there story before credibility really starts to erode?
Well, execution risks have declined sharply as the mine transitions from build-out to commissioning. And major lenders like KfW and long-term offtake partners are still fully engaged, which is a strong signal for their confidence. So the almost there phase is ending, and 2025 will probably mark the shift from promise to production.
That's a great story to have. Well, okay, now let's look at the financing then. Financing has always been the tightrope for emerging producers. So when you break down Almonty's capital structure, the debt, the convertibles, the layered financing, does this look like strategic leverage or a slow bleed of shareholder equity masked as progress?
Well, the company is leveraged, but by design through structured project financing. And the debt is primarily funds the Sangdong build, supporting by long-term, low-cost loans and credible institutional partners. And the convertible instruments have been used prudently to enhance liquidity, and they did not erode equity too much. So the structure is strategic leverage aimed at building capacity and future cash flow. And it's disciplined financial models for a capital-intensive industry is just laying the groundwork for profitability.
I want to continue with our pricing topic here. Now, Matthias, we've all seen it. We're seeing it more and more. The price of tungsten, as you mentioned, right now is like a rocket taking off into the orbit. It's explosive. So to say the least, that is what's happening right now. So having said that, we also know the tungsten market is notoriously opaque and price sensitive. So much so that, Almonty's valuation is built this way or that. So how much of Almonty's valuation is actually built on optimism rather than fundamentals? And what happens then to the investment case if China then decides to flood the market again? What's going to happen here?
In my opinion, Almonty's valuation reflects both. It's both the fundamentals and the future potential. So it's not just optimism. And the market recognizes Sangdong's near-term production and tungsten's strong tightening fundamentals. And let's say if China were to flood the market again, prices could face short-term pressure. However, global policy is moving sharply towards diversification, especially in critical minerals, and they need to find more independent sources. So I think this is a big structural tailwind for Almonty, and with offtake agreements in place, including defense-linked demand, Almonty's value proposition remains resilient, even in price volatility.
Well, that's a great answer right there. If we actually then strip away the politics and all the PR, does Almonty stand as a viable, scalable business? Or are we looking at a story that only works as long as the world keeps needing that Western tungsten champion?
Well, strip away the headlines and Almonty, in my opinion, still stands as a viable, scalable mining business with long-term, long-life assets. And Sangdong alone offers decades of production. The company's operational expertise and focus on efficiency creates real sustainable economics. And the Almonty is building a business that can thrive because of what it produces, not just where it's from. So its role as the leading Western tungsten supplier is both strategic and commercially sound and not depend on temporary politics. So in short, the fundamentals are aligning perfectly. High tungsten prices, strategic assets, and the operational readiness makes Almonty a clear long-term winner, in my opinion.
Well, I know that we could definitely go on for hours around this topic and about Almonty. However, I'm going to bookend our conversation here. This has been so full of real valuable insights and rawness, and I thank you so much for being here and shining the light on all of this. We'll chat more soon for sure.
Yes, thank you so much, Lindsay.
Now, here is the reminder. These are the opinions of our own with possible vested interest in any of the companies we speak about. So know your own risk tolerances. Always be sure you speak with a licensed financial advisor for any investment decisions. For our full disclosure, head over to apaton.com, and for the full disclosure of GBC, head over to gbc-ag.com. I'm Lindsay Melchick, and this is the Market Frontlines, where speculation meets scrutiny, narratives get tested, and every number has to earn its story. We'll see you soon.